Greetings, peace and love, family. Welcome to Smile Pharmacy Apothecary. We offer a wonderful substance like our daily greens for pregnant women and postpartum mommies. This is a vital time to keep building your nutrients, having something fresh and green in your smoothies, your green, fresh pressed juices. Kale, spinach, and other dark leafy green vegetables are packed with vitamins and minerals. That's great for expectant mothers and their newborn babies. They have vitamins like vitamin A, C, K, and E, as well as calcium, iron, fiber, and folate. Folate is a B vitamin that protects against any birth defects. So around this time, I need you to sit, meditate on cultivating a wonderful divine temple for yourself, for your baby, and your family. But most of all, this time is for you. Smite Pharmacy Apothecary offers a carefully chosen selection of high-quality products such as newborn essentials, herbal remedies, water birth kits, also home birth kits. For post-birth, we offer products to support the postnatal period and breastfeeding period as well, such as your lactation aids, things as far as your supplements. We also elevate your mood and calm your mood by essential oils. Our goal is to ensure that mommies have access to a holistic home birth kit and supplies that is needed for a healthy pregnancy and a wonderful birth. Smite Pharmacy is committed to providing the quality products and exceptional services for you, your family, and to take care of your healthy baby that you're manifesting. Visit smitepharmacy.com today to order your superfood greens or your Goddess Beyond birth kit.
Don't go too far.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. I'm not going to belabor the point because I've already taken up enough of your time trying to figure this thing out. But I wanted to start first by just welcome you to our show, Holistic Healers, and also to thank you for joining us and for being our gracious guest today. And so we're going to start pretty much how we always start. And we're just going to ask you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am Rakit Kajara Nebehet. I'm the founder of the Sekhi Arts Temple. I am a healer, a priestess, an activist, a mother, and a grandmother. I am an artist. I am a tree hugger and nature lover, an earth keeper, a medicine woman. I have dedicated my life to uplifting my people. So I'm also a light worker, but a dragon slayer as well.
Hey, you gotta wear both hats.
That's right. That's right. And so, yes, I'm a servant of the people.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you are very well known in Atlanta, as far as I know, as a healer, as you mentioned, and you are not only a Reiki master, but have found or developed a new form of Reiki, a Kemetic Reiki. Can you tell us a little bit about Comedic Reiki and how that is used and how it benefits our world?
Yes. Actually, it's not a new form of Reiki at all. It's the more original form of Reiki, I would say.
Okay.
Because we do understand that all the healing sciences, as well as everything, I just actually came from Kemet. And one thing my tour guide said a few times to us is that we would find that everything started in ancient Egypt, he said, but of course we know
we were gonna get to that. We were gonna get
so what we're doing, and in fact, we got many confirmations on the trip that what we were doing was connected to the people there, because there were many times that we would go to the temples and do some chanting or postures and I once pulled out the tuning forks and they just joined in. We had some of those guards dancing and singing with us when we were chanting. They were so happy to have us there, honoring those ancient spirits. When we did the classes there, they watched us, because we had to do them in public. We didn't have like a little conference room or anything. So there were times where we were just right in like the dining room area near the pool, and all the Egyptians were there and they were like, what are they doing? And then a grandmother came up and she knew exactly what we were doing. And we were sweeping somebody's aura and she joined right in and started sweeping with us, And so, stuff like that happened. I pulled out the tuning forks we were on a boat on the Nile River. And during the class, I pulled out the tuning forks and all the men on the boat was like, pass me those forks, please. We want to feel that too. Bring it on, bring it on. So, it was very, that part really helped to confirm, everything that we're doing and knowing that it is a more original form of healing, a more traditional form of Reiki. Yeah. And so we use the word Reiki because that is what people know to be energy healing. Definitely. But it is, it is before Reiki, I would say.
Definitely. Yeah. It's interesting you said that too, because my teacher, Dr. Mark Armstrong, he years ago, it's probably 20 years ago, he, as I was being introduced to Reiki and the different styles of Reiki, one day we went to some folks' house and we were doing some Egyptian Reiki. It was a very I still haven't seen anybody else even practice it. So your system is the closest thing I've ever even seen to anybody even having the thought or idea of such a thing. So that's definitely powerful, because I was introduced to an Egyptian form of Reiki, like I said, years ago, a few decades back. And right. to see you out here pushing it, and not only pushing it, but thriving with it, producing literature and training students. Because you're a teacher to some of my friends, to my wife. So I've seen you around, and I've heard so much about you for the last, I don't know how many years. But I wanted to at least acknowledge that and give you the opportunity to express that as well. One of the other questions I have for you, let me grab that for you. Second. Okay. Getting some more assistance from.
No problem.
Okay, so what I wanted to ask you is that I in my home, I want to say we have 3 of your books, but okay. I know that you've written several, and my other one is on my bookshelf in the other room. But okay. I wanted to know, because I feel like you have several more. Is that? And even
I do. Yeah, actually, I just published a new book. I got to show everybody.
I just see my brother on there the other day. That's right.
I have this one, and it has a partner. So this is a chakra workbook, Revitalize Your Chakras. And then I have the journal, Revitalize Your Chakras journal. So they go together. Yes. And it is really, even though I still do use comedic terms in the books, I also use terms that people are more familiar with, because I know people are now ready to learn about energy healing. People are open to doing their shadow work, their inner child work. All of these new terms have come. And then to work with the chakras and to really understand our energy, which is important for us, because again, after going to Kemet and seeing the monuments that our ancestors created that are still standing, despite the fact that it's been thousands of years and many thousands of people have come through trying to tear them places down, but they're still standing. So it just speaks to our greatness and really understanding that they were masters of energy. Like you know, it's it's just to be able to create the things that they did. It has to do with energy. Everything is energy, and you know, we know that no one can explain how they built that Great Pyramid. It's massive. Those stones are, you know, half of my body in height or more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all about energy. And the more that we understand it and the more that we can use it to heal, to balance ourselves, because we're healing from racism, oppression, male domination, white supremacy, you know, all kind of things like this, as well as, you know, our own traumas and the conditionings of slavery and the enslavement period, and even the whole transatlantic, you know, just the taking of so many people from one place to another, you know, that's a lot of trauma that we're still working through. So we need help, we need guidance, we need, you know, and I've been doing the work. I've been actually doing Reiki for about 20 years myself. And I learned from a man who was a Comedic practitioner. So that is also what led this to open up, you know, through me. But I want to show you real quick. This book has affirmations, spiritual baths, drinks that you can make for the chakras, different food recipes, some chanting. It's very, very comprehensive, easy to read, and a lot of information. I put a lot into it. I gave it my all. And the journal as well has some really deep questions to really help you open up, you know, because a lot of times when it comes to healing, it's just stuff that we're holding in, stuff that we think about over and over and over, but we don't necessarily process it so that we can get out of that cycle, you know. So this is, excuse me, this is the time, and we are the ones who are breaking those generational curses. And this is a part of it, you know, really understanding how we're supposed to live, living according to our culture and our traditions. That's a big part of our healing process. Because, you know, living according to other people's ways is killing us. It really is. So, you know, it's a matter, like they say, Sankofa, you know, we got to go back and get it and bring it, you know, forward for ourselves so that we can open the way for those who are coming behind us. You know, I have little grandchildren. I'm thinking about like, ooh, you know, thankfully I broke the cycle of, you know, the lies to my children about the holidays and the Jesus Christ and all that kind of stuff. So they don't have that savior, the people gonna come save me complex. They didn't grow up with that type of thing. So I know my grandchildren will be even further removed because, you know, of the breaking of those cycles. So it's things like that, the eating habits, you know, stop eating all those foods that our ancestors here ate to survive, you know, because that's not what's best for us. And it's been shown and proven through the cancer rates, all the diabetes, high blood pressure and all of that type of thing. So again, that's another cycle and even a curse, you could call it, that we have to break. And that's what it's all about. You know, that's what we teach. We do want to help our people to just live more naturally, more holistically, more spiritually, feeding all of ourselves. Because, you know, most of us just think about feeding the physical body, but we have the emotional body we have to feed. We have the mental body that we really, especially with what's going on now, we have to constantly feed our mental just to stay balanced, because there's so much fear and anxiety and, you know, other emotions being triggered through the media, social media, all of that. So, and then of course, feeding the spiritual body, you know, a lot of people have stopped going to church, but then what are you doing if you're not going to church? You got to make your home your church. Your body is your church, your temple, and one thing that I didn't like about the church is that it's just come on Sunday, let the pastor pray for you, and then you're supposed to be good until next Sunday. But, we all know that we're supposed to be praying a few times a day. I love the Muslims for that, praying 5 times a day. The more you pray, the better you're going to feel in this day and time, even if it's just a few moments of giving thanks for the sunshine or even the rain, whatever, something, that is, that's how our ancestors lived. And that's really how we need to be right now to make it through these times.
That's right. We got vibration. If you could tell us, and those who are watching and those who catch this at whatever point they catch it, how can they get some of these amazing books that you have written?
Yes, you can definitely go to rasekistore.com, RASEKHISTORE.com. And the books are also available on Amazon. So you could just look up Kajara Nebehet on Amazon, or the titles, Revitalize Your Chakras. We have Speaking with Spirit, which is a book of prayers. The Comedic Reiki books 1 and 2 are available. The Rising Nation, which is a good book for those who are leaders in the community. It's like a code of conduct. The Healing Ritual Magic is a book of rituals. So we have like a woman's healing ritual, men's healing ritual, family healing ritual, those things like that, to help, just help people who want to, do meditations and things like that, to really shift our vibration and frequency and thought processes and all of those types of things, returning to our culture.
Definitely.
Beautiful. What about the children? I love
the children's books. How can I forget that? So we have, I wrote, I get energy from the sun. I am mind, body, spirit, and light as a feather, which is a book of the 42 laws of Ma'at for children. And they too are available on Amazon and rasekistore.com.
Yes, that is amazing. So I had, beloved, do you have any other questions? I have a whole list, but I wanted to let you step in and ask some questions if you like.
Yes, give thanks. I am honored, and I honor you as well. Thank you, Mut Kajarnia, for coming on and blessing us with your divineness. I had a question. I may know, but other people may not know. What is this energy about Sekhmet, the lioness? When people see this lion, they like, oh, is that just fear? What is your background with Sekhmet, if people don't know who Sekhmet is?
Sekhmet is an ancient Kemetic goddess that represents power and life force energy, protection and justice. She is the great mother healer and the destroyer of evil. And so in times of chaos and confusion, Sekhmet is called on to restore the balance and order to the community, to the world. And so it's not a coincidence that people have been learning more about Sekhmet and interested in Sekhmet, because of what's going on right now. Is we're in a time of Sekhmet. She is also one who moves through plagues. She moves through fire. She moves through lightning. So, when energy is moving, when there is sickness, when there's healing, that's all of that is in the realm of Sekhmet. And so, of course, we know that these deities, these Netaru, they're aspects of the Most High. They're aspects of creation. So she represents fire, a fire energy. And that is an energy of transformation. And also, the Netaru are working through us. They want to be awakened through us. They want us to wake them up and allow ourselves to be Netaru. So even in ancient Kemet, when they prayed, they would say praises to the Netaru, a Netarak segment, praises to you segment. And then they would say, Anu, I am segment. And you realize that we have that fire within us. We have power within us. We have healing power. We have, everything that all of those Netaru are, we have. And so that was one of the messages that I received in that trip. They were there, they were speaking to us so loudly. We all was hearing the same thing. We were being called to come, and do certain chants and rituals together, and the synchronicity of how, because we would be together, then we would split up, and then it's like something called us to come back together. Now is the time for us to do the chanting right now. And it would just happen just like that. And so, that's that energy. That's energy. That's, energy is life for us. That's segment represents the energy of Ra moving through us and the connection that we have with everything. And that's what we saw when we were there, because things just flowed in such a way. And in fact, I heard that because we had a nice large group and we were flowing. They opened the way for us to be able to chant and pray in just about every temple that we went to. Now, most people who go there would tell you they can't do it because the Muslim people don't like us doing Kemetic chants there. However, something opened up for us to be able to do it. And then I recently heard that they have decided to change the policies there to be more open to people practicing what they believe, which is one of the things that we was praying for, because it was like, you got to pay them money. We had to bribe them guards, big money to do it. That's the only way. But apparently, us being there, it became something that they were talking about. So as we moved from one city to the next, they were kind of like, oh, this is that special group that came from America. Okay, we gonna have these special security guards for them. We gotta watch them. It was kind of like that. And so, so anyway, just knowing that things are changing, that's energy. That segment.
I'm glad you said it too, because I've heard that same story from so many people that have either gone to Kemet or have gone to even visit certain mounds here in the States. And there's people who I guess work at these places who are basically stopping people from practicing whatever beliefs they want to practice in these sacred places. So it's good to hear that that's changing and the energy shifting. That being said, do you do regular trips to Kemet? Is that something that you offer to people? And is there a way that people can contact you about that?
Well, absolutely. We are planning to go again and again as often as we possibly can. We are also, we'll be scheduling some trips to other places as well. So we work with Tahuti Films for our movement, and you can go to sekikemetic.com. Once we get the new dates, we'll be posting them there. And we are getting ready to set those dates because we are super excited to return, to go again. You just don't have enough time, so you have to go again and again just to be able to really, truly soak it all in and reconnect and stay recharged. Like, it's really like a Mecca type vibration, a pilgrimage, you would say.
Definitely. That's super powerful. Did you have something you wanted to say, love?
Oh no, I'm just like, wow. That's we kind of planned it out, but didn't fully plan it out. So I am yeah, I'm gonna do better planning so we can take these trips often, because just me seeing different pictures, and I was like, we were supposed to be there.
Oh wow.
So we're gonna plan it where it's, divine time, because it's that time, like you said. So that's all I want to say. Yeah.
Some of the other things that came up, you were speaking of in the opening of being a priestess. Can you explain to people that are not familiar with that, what that means and what it is that a priestess does?
Yes, that is a very good question. A priestess is one who serves the spiritual world and the community. So basically, we say that we are married to a spirit. So for me, I am a priestess of Sekhmet and also a priestess of Shango. So I have a connection with them that is lifelong. And I work to make sure to keep their energy high in this area that I live in. And so, for me, my purpose is also to bring people to the light. So I do that as a teacher, as an author, and as a priestess. I do rituals for the community. I'm praying for the community constantly. Most people don't realize that, and I know many of us laugh because people might not understand what we do. But it's like we are the ones who helping to make sure the whole city is straight. We're doing these prayers and offerings and lighting candles for everybody, that including you. So when people are rude to us, it's kind of like, you don't even know what you're doing, child. Yeah. And they don't understand that, I'm representing the energy of Sekhmet here, being a priestess of Sekhmet. So even though I don't, I don't walk around with a big ego about it, but that's basically what it is. I'm married to Sekhmet Shango. I wear the beads to represent their energy as a form of protection as well. And so I have a connection with them that I sacrifice my life to serve them. So I constantly have to, work with their energies and help to share their energy with others and help people to understand them. And, it's so many things, but we do divinations and readings for people. We do ceremonies. I do baby naming ceremonies, marriage ceremonies, different things like that, spiritual work, house clearings and stuff that everybody cannot do it, because if you don't know how to call them spirits, you know what I'm saying? You can make a spiritual bath, follow a recipe out of a book, but if you don't know how to call the spirits to the bath to make it have some power, it's just a bath. It's not, it doesn't have the ashe. So that's one of the differences. We are, and I have to constantly fast. I can't do everything that everybody does. I have to live my life. I've been living like a nun for like 20 years, you know what I'm saying? For the most part. Yeah. And that is part of the sacrifice. And that is part of the work, as a priestess. So I'm glad you asked that, because it is something, and it's something like being here. I'm in Atlanta now, and I don't feel like I get called on enough to do the work that I'm meant to do. So that's one of the things that I think people don't understand about being, they are these spiritual people who you can call on for ceremonies or rituals, or even to pour libation for events, because we have the ashe to call the spirits and stuff like that. Anybody could pour libation, but everybody don't pour it the same. You know what I mean? So different things like that.
I totally, I totally agree. Beloved, did you have anything you wanted to add or ask?
Yes, quick question. How long does a spiritual bath, the bath water, supposed to last? I know years ago you hosted that beautiful well, it was few events that you hosted when I had a gym, and I still have this glass of spiritual bath water, or the spiritual water that we made. Can I just keep that? Do I have?
I don't know about that, sugar.
Okay, so don't
it
use
can last maybe a few days or weeks, maybe, but not years.
Okay,
not if it's water in it. If it's just salt and it's dry, it could last longer.
Okay.
But once you put the water in it and those herbs are in there, it will go sour.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so since you spoke about the bath water and the ashes and being a priestess, what other tools or modalities do you use with customer clients, or just with let me say, not family function, but community events? What other tools do you bring out that you have?
What other tools? Like I do sound therapy, I do meditations, I do readings, I do Reiki healing, so I have quite a few tools, tuning forks and different things like that. I don't have any gongs, but I do have some singing bowls. I do like the gongs. I have been considering it. But those are some of my primary tools, I would say.
Those people.
Crystals. I have a whole lot of crystals.
Beautiful. When is the next
crystal? I definitely use those. The next crystal retreat.
Yes, or I think you did mining.
Yeah, we've gone a few times. That retreat is something that we did this year just for Raseki people. So we probably will do that again next year, because for some reason, when I tried to do it for the public, it just did not go well. So, but if I make it just like a family event, like any Raseki people who want to come and get together and go, Crystal Man, we all got together and got a house and went on out there, had us a good time that weekend. So if we do, it'll be, we usually go like March, the end of March, which is around that spring equinox, because the Baba always tells us you get the energy when you're mining, and you mine around that time, you pulling up the energy of the spring equinox out the earth through the crystals. So that's why we don't just go any random time. It's always, it's a ritual.
Beautiful. Is there a certain thing that you go for mining that you like to enjoy?
Usually we go to Arkansas because they have the quartz crystal mines that are very abundant. So, when you go there, you're going to come back with a lot of crystals. And they have a few mines out there. So we've been to maybe two. And if we plan to go again, we probably go to some different ones just to see, because we hear they're very good. But there's also crystal mines here in Georgia that I've been wanting to go to as well. So we have to see, maybe we could work that out.
Do I think?
Yes.
Definitely.
But they don't have quartz. That's the thing about Arkansas. It has the most clear quartz, and it's really beautiful, good quartz.
Okay. So we have about 5 or 10 minutes left on the stream. So I wanted to ask just a couple more questions and just kind of round it up if we can. Hey, love. One of the things that when I was introduced to you, that everyone was talking about was your readings. So can you tell us a little bit about what kind of readings you offer and how people can even contact you for that as well?
Okay. Well, I am a medium. So as a medium, I hear ancestors speak. I hear dead people. And so when I do readings, basically, it is whatever your ancestors want you to know right now. Oftentimes, people, when they get the reading, they'll say, oh, this is stuff that I've been thinking about, but I just, I didn't know where it was coming from. And then the ancestors are like, yeah, because we've been trying to tell you this, but you haven't been listening. So, they use me to get those types of messages through to their people, their children. And so for me to do a reading, you can schedule an appointment at rasekihealing.com or on Raseki store. You can go and choose. I do the ancestral readings, the Comedic name readings, and Know Thyself readings, which gives you a numerology report, an ancestral reading, and some other information. So it's a little bit, a more deep reading.
That is amazing. I'm actually going to be interviewing a few of your students very soon.
Oh, okay,
So
wonderful.
I can't wait to do that. And if you would allow me, due to our technical difficulties today, so I had to kind of cut my questions in half because this Zoom, like I said, kind of cuts like a 45-minute situation. And I've had it running a little bit before we got on. So it's kind of taking up the time. So I do apologize for that. So maybe in the future we can work out a second interview because I did have more questions. But if I can get you again to just give your contact information for people and to let them know how it is they can reach you, contact you for any of your services or any of the wonderful things that you offer. And then if you could just give us a final word, just of wisdom for people to take with them on their day.
All right, sure. I would definitely love to come again. So don't worry, we just have to schedule a date. And you can reach me at rasekitemple@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram at Sekhi Arts Temple. And the website, rasekihealing.com, rasekistore.com. We have a YouTube channel, Sekhi Arts Temple. We have some CDs at raseki.bandcamp.com. And you can listen to some of our CDs on iTunes and I believe Spotify as well. Yes, I believe that's all I contact. But for everyone who is listening, we are in a time of transformation and change. We are all being asked and pushed to change ourselves and to change ourselves for the better. So the young people like to say, upgrade themselves, that is what is, they are right about that. It's time for us to upgrade ourselves. And we really have to be mindful of how we take care of ourselves, what we're eating with our mouths, with our eyes, and with our ears, because it's a spiritual war that we're in, basically. And for us to live through it and not just survive, but to thrive, we have to be spiritual beings and really move in spiritual ways. We have to make sure that we're taking care of our body temples in all ways, eating right, getting enough rest, exercising, and taking those herbs to build your immune system. So I know all about that. And give me some backup as well. Because, it's so much poison that's coming at us in every direction. And we have to constantly clear ourselves of that poison, the fear, everything from the fear to the poison in the water and the poison in the food, and then the air, So just do your best to be conscious of that and take the best care of yourself that you can right now. Don't try to cut corners and cheat or act like, this is not 5 years ago. We're in a different time right now. We have to change. We have to act accordingly and make sure that we're doing things differently. Growing food, working together, getting our families tight. All of that stuff is important. And stocking up on food and stuff like that. Because I just saw a map of how many, they have ships all around the country that they're not allowing to deliver their products. So it's going to be a shortage of stuff real soon. And, just be spiritual, follow your intuition, know that all is well and all is in divine order. And we will get through this like we always do.
Right. Give thanks.
Give thanks, do I? Yes.
I say.
Any last words, beloved, that you would like to share with people?
I'm not gonna sprinkle on that. I'm not shade.
Well, with that, we're gonna say thank you again. We express much gratitude for your being here with us today, and we would like to thank everyone else for watching our episode today. And hopefully, you learned something. Again, this is Holistic Healers, and we hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Aku Jacinib.